all you ever want to do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real emo, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo.
I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke,
Yeah, hey,
real emo.
well, we can hold a peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Rilla gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real emo, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo.
I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transfer to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me, I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real emo, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo.
I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
This is not about freedom. I'll use my power to get them out of the way. Come on. I got hairy legs.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun
is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 20 Hundo and 80 Schwam of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. So what's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beaches.
Yeah, fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
Flexing on all you beaches. Not only that. What's that noise? Is it raining outside? I feel like it's raining outside. Let's see. Not only that, we are powered by SwoleNormousX.com. Join the SwoleFam today. Let's get some more gorillas going on. What's going on? Maxwell, Jay, Stephen, Abby, Josh, Florida Sunshine. We got a lot of people turning in live. This is a unique show during the week. We have a couple announcements because tomorrow we have our SwoleFam accountability meeting at 12 noon Eastern time. Live call, 12 noon. All right, 12 noon. Mark your calendar. Reminder, 12 noon tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. And we will have a live call at 12 noon. A live call at 12 noon where we should have a live call. Join now, SwoleNormousX.com. All those details are inside the SwoleFam. Once you join, you see that all on your home page, but y'all know the deal already. Today, we got a lot of questions. I'm sure you have. It's going to be an open floor, keeping them all live today. So if you have questions, start dropping them in the comments down below. We're going to bust this nut open and we're going to have a great show. Drop in the comments down below. What'd you smash today? And for anyone that's interested in catching the live stream, if you're just listening on audio, check us out. www.thedailyswole.com for all of those links. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole. It's a Sunday fun day. Q and anus. Let's fucking go, beaches. Let's summon this. Let's summon the Falcon. Here we go, fam. The busting of the nut. Put some respect on you, Boosh. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you very much.
USA, greatest country in the world.
All right. There you have it, folks. There you have it. If you're not watching live, it says mercilessly swole. Hashtag mercilessly swole. And that's what you get to look at when you look at this amazing swole card. We'll give that away at the end of today's episode. Are you mercilessly swole? Are you? No mercy. No mercy. That's not even spelled properly. That's not even that's called, wait, did I spell that? No, I put mecrously. All right, we'll fix that right now. That's fucking awesome. That is mercilessly. Oh, that's the wrong card. Oh, that's the wrong card. That's the wrong card. Mecrously. Not even spelled right. Okay, let's put this on the screen. All right, I'll do that right now. I'll fix that card. I'll fix it. I shall fix it. All right, TV timeout. So what's going on, fam? Let's actually give everyone a chance to drop some questions. Let's see. Accountability meeting tomorrow. And so let's do this. Drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And I'll get this card done right. You got to look at it. It's got to be the right way. It's got to be the right way. It's got to be done the way I wanted it to get done. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Little pause right here. Mercilessly Swole. There we go. Merciless. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And Swole. There we go. It's fixed. It's fixed. There you go, Falcon. There you go. 28 Schwamm. There you go. There it is. Excellent. Excellent. Fuck that up. You gonna fuck that up, Falcon? You gonna fuck that up? You fucked that up, Freddy? You fucked that up? All right, let's take some questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Gave people a couple extra moments to get into the live stream. All right, we'll take questions and drop in the comments down below. We got one from Jackson. Papa Swolio, is the cold plunge good for social anxiety? I would say maybe indirectly. The cold plunge might make you feel better, less anxious in general. It helps you build discipline. It's not comfortable, especially when you start. Then it gets better and better. You start to crave it more. But that might just make you feel better, build some discipline, could give you some more confidence if you have more discipline. And then, of course, you might feel better in public, but it's really not related. Social anxiety is a different thing. I mean, jumping in cold water, I don't think would help you be better around people, but it can definitely give you some more confidence in yourself and your abilities to overcome difficult tasks. So that can translate potentially. All right. So hashtag mercilessly swole. Mercilessly swole. Very nice. Delicious card. Delicious. Papa Swolio, have you tried the ancestral blind beef mix? I don't know what that is. What's a blind beef mix? Like eyeballs, or you're blind? It's just random pieces of beef. I have no idea what you're talking about. Sounds beefy. Maxwell, why is citrus not included in the elimination diet? Some people have issues with citrus, just like nightshades. So, have you added any back in? I eat whatever fruit I feel like eating. I like mango and pineapple and berries and things like that. During the winter, it's colder out. I naturally don't have as much fruit, if at all. So actually, we like dried fruit too. And in the winter, you would have more. If you preserved food, you would have dried it and had it in like the winter times or when it wasn't in season. So I talk often about generally you'll get better fruit. Well, look, the best thing is to get the fruit from the tree, but if you can't get it from the tree, frozen's also good. A lot of times fruit is picked if it's out of season because it has to be transported, so it gets picked really early and it gets picked when it's not ripe. Let's see. Papa Swolio, could I use essential oils for beard? Sure. You can get organic jojoba oil. I believe there's also, what's in a lot of other beard oils? I forget the name of it. Argan oil, I believe, is one. There are all sorts of different things. I wouldn't put anything aside from just natural oils, but I use jojoba oil a lot. It mimics the body's natural oils, and it's very good. I use it on my skin and my beard too. I put it in my hair as well. Why Shatter on Twitch? What up, Twitch? Essential oils, aren't most of those scams? No, what do you mean? Are you talking about those multi-level marketing companies that are promoting getting people to sign up for subscription oils or something like that? They definitely help. They definitely help in many ways. First off, it's better to use those things than artificial candles and garbage. You can get a diffuser and things like that. No, I'm not talking about healing those oils that heal cancer. No, I'm not talking about like that, but if you're stressed out, putting a little peppermint, on your temples and, around your neck and stuff like that, and maybe help you breathe. There's also good things for just relaxation, put them in a diffuser, but I wouldn't say it cures cancer. Other lifestyle habits perhaps, but definitely not promoting that. Yeah, that gets foofy. That's like charging crystals and stuff. You do realize those oils have just as much chemicals in them. No, they don't. I don't think you understand what an essential oil is. But anyway, you're welcome to follow up. Let's see here. Elijah, I crushed kettlebell earlier, but going back later, do some sauna, arms, and cold plunge. I need to raise some mountain peaks on my arms as well. Indeed. Skill Yow. James, would stepping outside without a coat in cold temperatures be the same as a cold plunge? I would say no. It's a different type of. I think it would take longer for you to get cold. No, you don't get the same surface area. You don't get an even cold. It's a different type of, because if you're going outside in the wind, it depends if it's windy. It's definitely not the same. You're definitely getting cold. I think it's good for you. If you don't have water. If it's cold outside, do you have one of those big buckets? You can get one of those industrial feed bins. You can fill it with water and freeze over and just kind of chip off that top layer of ice. Yeah, I don't know if it would be the same. I grew up in cold temperatures, but I didn't grow up doing cold plunging. When you're in water, one, it's consistent. The water temperature is consistent around you. It gets much deeper, that's for sure. I think just because you have more molecules, more points of contact. I know you have air outside, but I feel like you'll get a little bit, I don't know. I don't get the same kind of burn on my skin. I remember growing up, you go outside without a shirt on. It just really is not comfortable. But cold plunging, I like. You're not doing it for that long is another thing. You're not doing it for that long. It's good to get your body into these different temperature environments. If that's all you have, then I think that'd also be great. Telling people, go outside in the cold without a shirt on. What's the difference, right? Steven, is there any way to make cooked spinach taste good? I don't think so. I don't eat spinach. Burns my tongue. Not a fan. I never liked spinach. I never liked it. You try when you're lied to, telling you that it's good for you. You need to eat your spinach. No, you don't. No, you don't. How cold does a cold plunge get? How long do you stay in? I stay in for 3 to 5 minutes. You can get it as cold as you can get it in the 30s. You can get it low. If you're in a cold climate, a lot of people, they'll leave the water. They have like an outdoor tub. There's cold plunges that have motors that keep them cold, and then you can have it outside. So if you're in a winter climate, you can just leave it outside, and if it freezes over, then you just kind of break the top of the ice that forms and then get in there. Cold plunge, mine keeps it around 39 to 40 degrees. I could also throw in ice on top of it and make it a little bit colder, but I just usually don't. Stay in there for 3 to 5 minutes. It's awesome. I do it first thing in the morning. I wake up, I get outside, and when I get in, I'm hot. Just realize how hot I feel in the morning. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be colder at night, and then hotter. Your body temperature increases and the ground increases. The sun comes out. It's supposed to wake up. And then, so I jump in first thing, and then in the evening. I usually do sauna in the evening, and then I'll jump in the cold plunge. I go in the sauna, and then after I kind of cool off for a couple minutes, and then I go in the cold plunge. I like to let my body cool off a little bit first before I jump in the cold. Papa Swolio, Maxwell, how much have you looked into linoleic acid? It's omega-6. Yeah, it's not good for you. It's not good for you. You're going to get some omega-6, but you just don't want much. Keep it to a minimum. That's why you want to avoid all those nut and seed oils. I felt better. And these are things that I've tried in the past. I've tried to eat walnuts and almonds. You think they're good. People say that they're good. They taste like shit. They fucking taste like shit. You're eating it just tastes gross. I've tried so many times, probably because if I eat those, I never got them completely salted and with all the flavorings, and people, well, I love chocolate covered almonds. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because it's covered in sugar. No, but it's chocolate. Yeah. You're consuming like 30% chocolate and 70% sweetener. So anyway, let's see here. Kira, Huberman Labs shared a cold study, and we only need a minimum of 59 degrees for plunge for a total of 11 minutes broken up over the week. Totally doable. A cold study, a minimum for what? I feel like if you have access to something 59 degrees, that's barely cool. I'm in there. It's 20 degrees cooler than that every day. That will build you some discipline. If you're looking for, it's more than that. It's more than just the cold. It's more than that. It feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. The colder, the better. Challenge yourself. 11 minutes broken up over the week. What is that? 2 minutes, not even a minute and a half a day. So that means going in a cold plunge like 3 times or 4 times over the course of a week. That's not bad. That's not bad. Look, it depends on what you have access to. What that means is most people should try to do it as often as possible. Really, it's something you want to do every day. If you make it a part of your daily routine, it'll change your life. For full benefit of adrenaline, you mean, yeah, I like it. I like it much more than that, for sure. Everyone's different, though. Everyone's different. Yeah, 59 degrees is like lightly cool. That's a great place to start, though. It's a great place to start. You can start not as cold. You don't have to go right to the coldest possible. But of course, if people are buying bags of ice or putting ice in just water from their refrigerator, they're stacking up some ice, then of course you're not going to be able to get it necessarily colder. So that's good news. That's good news. My point is, if you start looking at this as, so let's say, based on what Kira was saying, that's good news that you're getting benefits at that level. I'm not saying anything bad about it. But when you look at the 7 pillars, so pillar number 4 is recovery. So if you think about using cold therapy, sauna as part of your recovery pillar, and I'm just saying, no matter what you start at, if you do it regularly, if you do it like almost every day, or you get that, if you try that at least for maybe 30 days, you do it every single day, you're going to want it every single day. And it's not just because you get used to doing it. It just feels so good. You notice it when you're not doing it. I have it so it's convenient for me. So for some people that's not as convenient, once a day or even every other day is fantastic. I'm just saying, when you start doing cold plunge regularly, when you have an intense training protocol, like you're training hard, you're lifting weights, it just feels great as a part of waking up. Also helps me sleep. It also helps me recover physically from physical inflammation. I'm training hard. I'm lifting heavy, several times a week. And it's great to ice my body twice a day. It's fucking great. And of course, the colder you go, the less you're going to do it. So if I did it at 55 degrees, I could be in there for 10 minutes easily, or longer, or whatever the heck it is. So different benefits. All right, let's see. Accountability meeting Monday, January 17th, tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, fam. Reminder, tomorrow at noon, we'll be live inside SwoleNormus X. Join the fam today, SwoleNormusX.com. And we'll have the live call at 12 noon Eastern time, but we'll still take some more questions. So drop them in the comments, hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Reminder, we got that sexy card, Mercilessly Swole.
There's Tiny Tuck, Typical Tuck, Total Tuck, and the Tyrannical Tuck.
The Tyrannical Tuck. Anyone Google that last night? Did anyone Google the Tyrannical Tuck? No? That's fucking bullshit. No Tyrannical Tuck? Bullshit. Someone did it. Duke, Papa, do you clean your own house or have a maid? We have two lovely ladies that come in every couple weeks for like a deep cleaning, just because Mama Swolio and I are busy and I'm always walking in and out of the house. Like we're cleaning all the time. I mean, I'm always trying to make sure I'm not tracking dirt because I walk outside in the yard and dirt's coming in. So I have like towels laying around where I wipe my feet, over and over again. And I'm literally in the plunge all the time and in the sauna. So from sweat going, I'm always walking around barefoot tracking dirt if I'm not careful. So need to actually like get into those like deep places, lifting up all the knobs on the stove and getting all the cracks and stuff that I'm not going to be doing every single day. But always trying to be mindful and keep it clean. We have stuff all over the place. We use our house completely, front, top to bottom. So it's like living in a gym. We have our offices, have our bedroom, so it's nice. But doing like the full blown vacuuming and under everything, that way it's always relatively clean. Let's see, Matthew. Papa Swolio, after a workout centered around lifting heavy, I've been finishing with a few supersets of isometric holds and lightweight or body weight to chase down a pump. Is this a good approach? Goals to build muscle? I always used to do that kind of stuff, burnouts and things like that. Sometimes I still do, like the last set, I'll do a drop set or something like that. I know, isometric holds are great. The reason why people do negatives or isometric holds at the end of sets are just because your strongest muscle contractions, the stronger two, are isometric and eccentric. So when you get tired, you can't lift the weight up anymore. Let's say for a bicep curl, you can still maybe spot yourself on the way up and do an isometric hold. You're still strong enough to hold it at different angles, or doing eccentrics. So it's a way to tap and get deeper into those muscle fibers. So for me, I'm focusing, with a lot of things in my life, we always talk about simplify. I have that card over here and we've given away those Swole cards before. It's called titled Simplify and Amplify. So most things with my business, with my training, I try to simplify 7 pillars. I try to simplify as much as possible because then I can keep my focus on it and execute that to the best of my ability. So for example, when it comes to training exercises, so usually for body parts, lately what I've been doing is I'll do 2 exercises. I'll do 2 exercises all out. So I'll do a few warm-up sets and then I'll do 2 or 3 really fucking hard to failure working sets. And I'll keep it focused because if I'm just doing, hey, today I'm doing chest and back, I train at home. So those of you that have home gyms, you got to set things up and that sometimes takes some time, but I don't want to think about 6 or 7 or 8 different exercises. I like to stay focused. So when it comes to a training approach, I like to focus on less exercises, maybe more sets, because once I get the exercise set up, I can really push that to 100%. So depending on the body part or the area, let's say chest, I want to work more on like upper chest. It's like, okay, I'll do this kind of incline press or a low high cable or band and this movement. So I'll pick like 1 or 2. I'll do a heavy pressing movement and then let's say kettlebell fly, like boom, do those. The next time I do chest in maybe 2 or 3 days, I can also do, 2 different kinds of exercise or 2 different ones. I don't do the same exercises every workout. And it also depends on how often you're doing it, how often your frequency is. The more often you train, the less volume you're doing on each day, to the point when it might not be actually effective to train in that manner, depending on your experience and where you're at physically and your nutrition and such like that. So it depends on what kind of cycle you're on. But for me, more or less, I'm on an upper lower body split. And sometimes if I'm kind of sore, I might do like a total body. I might just do a kettlebell day or a heavy mace bell day or something like that. So it depends, upper, lower, or like a total body overall strength or power day for me. For me, it's just about consistency. And because I train so often, I try to consciously decrease the volume because I tend to overdo it. I'll tend to overdo it. Generally, I'll tend to overdo it. Like I'll train harder than in other words, a lot of people, so let's say you're looking at yourself in the mirror all the time, you're losing weight and you don't think you've lost that much weight because you see yourself every day. You see yourself every day. You see the way you look in the mirror. And because it's like watching paint dry or a teapot boil, you don't notice those small micro changes. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror every day, you don't notice that you're losing a 0.1 ounces a day. All right. You're losing, or 0.1 ounce, you're losing an ounce a day. Let's just say you're losing an ounce a day. You're not going to notice that looking day to day. You might notice that after a while, after a few months, but you'll notice it if you see a picture. If you look back at a picture from 3 months ago, that's why people that you haven't seen in 3 months, 6 months, or a year or more, they're like, oh my God, they're floored. And you're just kind of like, yeah, I know I'm definitely look different. I look thinner. And like, no, you look fucking so different, because they didn't see all those little incremental changes. So for you, it looked like a slow blend, like a slow transition. For them, it's like a light switch. So when it comes to those subtle changes, so when it comes to training, if you're training hard all the time, remember, like for me, if someone has never lifted before in their life and they come and train with me, they're going to be in the hospital. And they would be with most people that train hard. They're just not ready for that kind of overload. They'll be so sore, they'll get injured, or they'll have something that just hurts for fucking weeks because they cause real trauma. Their muscles can't handle that kind of volume and overload and that kind of output or that kind of isolation. When you're first starting off, you don't need to do a ton of isolation exercises. You need more compound movements, start with the basics and just overall volume and work capacity on your body. Total body workouts, upper, lower, things like that. So when you're training hard all the time, your hard training is normal. It's just average. So for me, training hard, or what would be super hard for someone else, for me, it's like, I had kind of like a weak workout today. Someone else would be destroyed. So I try to, because I am getting older, and I'm always thinking long-term. So I am getting older. My body's been through a lot of workouts. It's been through a lot of training. I know I'm around my natural capacity. I'm close to it. I've never tried to really hit that limit, but I've been heavier. I know what it feels like on my body, and I'm settling, and I'm psychologically like, okay, I'm kind of around where my body is optimally safe, healthy, and consistent at. So I can maintain this with ease. I don't have to overdo it. I don't have to overthink or overprocess or overanalyze. I'm at a spot in my life where my food intake, my training protocols is consistent. I know my limits. I know what pushes me. I know what would hurt me or this, that, and the other. So my perspective is I want to keep on training hard. But if you do too much volume in your workouts, you're doing a lot of junk volume. You're spending way too much energy without being as effective. And I know this is a long rant, but this is an important point. If you're doing many, many exercises and many, many sets, you can't possibly be pushing close to your full intensity because you wouldn't be able to make it halfway through that workout. So for me, I am on purpose restrict myself. That way I put more. And I've always had my best workouts if I've only had 30 minutes between clients. I would crush a workout. I'd be sore for 4 days because I push myself to the limit and with a restricted amount of time or a restricted amount of, options. So when the pressure's on and I have either limited equipment or I have limited amount of sets. So if I have 2 exercises, 3 or 4 sets each, it's like, okay, this is all I have for my training. This is all I have for myself. So I give it 100% on those sets and I get amazing results without the overload that would keep me from training that would keep me from training as frequently. So I'm able to train body parts more often with less volume in each workout, but sufficient volume overall over the course of like a week or a larger little micro period. And I like that approach better. I don't want to be crippled for a week. I don't want my back to be able to not move and I can barely lift my arm. That's not the kind of soreness and overload that is important because then it's going to restrict my ability to move and to do other types of workouts. And I never really felt like that was the most effective way to train. Even though that got me amazing results, I used to train to the point where my legs were sore for 9 days. I would like touch my quads and just deep in there, I'd feel soreness for a week, no question. And one, I don't want to feel like that today. And two, I don't really think that's necessarily healthy, but it worked. So it worked. It definitely worked. I built a ton of muscle. It's just not the way I want to. I don't want to be inhibited. I want to do let's say I do legs today, for example. Oh, I did legs. Did I do yesterday? No, yesterday was some chest and back. The day before was legs. And I might do some, today or tomorrow was like kettlebell swings, or, if I do less exercise, I can keep training more consistently, but then, spread it out, but keep the intensity high enough to be improving in strength and to be overloading the muscles sufficiently to build and to maintain muscle mass. Strength. Yeah. But less volume. In other words, when we talk about program design, you need to know how often you have for the gym. How much time do you have available to train? That's very important. How much time do you have available? A lot of people are we talk about this often, a lot of people are trying to fit some training protocol that they see me do, or they see a pro bodybuilder do, or some athlete. They try to fit that program into their life. Rather, they should be fitting they should know what their range is. Like, what do they have the ability to execute? How many days do they have to train? How serious are they willing to take it? What are they going to prioritize? Okay. What are they going to prioritize? And if they prioritize to their max capacity, does that program fit? And a lot of people are trying to do things that they can't stick to. They're not really building good habits. They're just kind of like trying to pull themselves along. And of course, they can't pull them along. They can't keep up, and they burn out. They fall off. And then what good was that? You did a sprint for 3 weeks and then you fucked up. What's the point? What was the point of that? Johnny, Papa Swole here. Stevia is a great way to make my cacao coconut milk drink. Is stevia okay, or do you know much about it? Stevia causes a lot of gut issues with people. I mean, you can Google that. A lot of people have issues with that. I avoid artificial sweeteners personally. I just eat fruit. I don't use any of those artificial sweeteners. Not for me. I don't like tricking my body into thinking something sweet. It all has an impact on your body. I'm not a fan, but you'd have to see for yourself. Mr. Nuts, Papa Swolio, I don't think I look like I have lost any weight, but I had to buy a new belt, and now I'm down another 3 notches on it, so I must have. Well, there you go.
I'm a fair guy, but this heat is making me absolutely crazy.
There you go. There you go. If you need a new belt, then you're exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't think that they've lost weight, but they have, because you're looking at yourself every day. Objectively, you need a new belt. Obviously, there's less of you. There's less circumference. The belt that you have, right? The belt that you have is too big because there's less of you. So you definitely lost. I don't know if you mean that you don't see a different number on the scale, because that's what happens when you build muscle and lose fat. Yeah, hashtag mercilessly swole for a chance to win today's swole card, by the way. I want to make sure. Yeah! Jen, artificial sweeteners give me migraines, as it does for many. So eliminate it, test it, elimination diet, test that shit. Matthew, Papa Swolio, I've noticed significant progress in my triceps. Excellent. And have been thinking it's due to the work they get secondarily on chest day, and then again later on arm day. Perhaps working other muscle groups twice per week could bring similar results. Let's see. And then again later on arm day. Well, you're getting that already. I mean, you're getting that already with biceps. You're getting that with other muscle groups. You're getting that with back and biceps. You're getting that with shoulders, because if you're doing back and chest, then by default, you're also working your shoulders. This is why most people have like a shoulder day. I used to go to the gym and I would do shoulders on a day. It's shoulder day. I can't train like that anymore. I just can't. It's so segmented. I can't do classic, the same type. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll just do shoulders, but I just feel like I'm wasting my time just doing shoulders. I should be doing shoulders and arms or upper body and then focus a couple exercises. So what I'll do is I'll do upper body. I'll do, let's say, chest dips, and I'll do maybe a pull down or a pull up or an inverted row or some kind of, dumbbell row. And I'll do 3 or 4 sets for chest and back. And then maybe I'll do a little extra focus from an upper body workout. I'll throw in a couple isolation. I'll do like some face pulls or some posterior deltoid, whether prone or with a band, or I'll do like some lying side raises or something like that, or with a cable. So you're getting that with other body parts already. That's the benefit of doing like upper, lower, upper, lower. So if you're doing an upper day, a lower day, upper, lower, you're working everything twice a week. The only difference is depending on how long or how many sets, the volume is different. So, I've done, I've tried so many different splits. I'm never going to say I've tried every single type of split, but I used to do things like a 9-day cycle. I've tried workouts. I've tried the super broken up thing, like where it's chest on one day, back on another day, shoulders on another day. I've even done programs where I've done biceps on one day. I never liked that, just biceps. Just seems like I'm going to the gym and just working one joint. That didn't stick for long. So, but in the same thing, but the way I train now, I like doing a lot more integration. I do a lot more strength and power. I love the heavy kettlebells and the heavy mace bells and the steel clubs. So I usually do that first, and I'll get really warmed up. It's great for grip. It's great for shoulders. It's great for getting the heart rate up a little bit. And I'll do, for example, an upper day, and I'll focus wherever I need to focus on the upper day. If I feel like I want to do an arm day, I'll just do some general macro movements, 1 or 2 exercises that work multiple joints. And then I'll go into my isolation, maybe for biceps, triceps, and some deltoid work. So I'll do an upper body day. It'll just be more focused towards arms. I don't restrict myself only shoulders, biceps, and triceps. I'll just do upper body and then focus on certain areas because I can feel it. Like, okay, I haven't really done any isolation for, let's say, anterior deltoid in a couple of weeks, or if I'm trying to bring up balance. So I try to work with strength, health protocols, and, aesthetics are kind of like a secondary, but it's also it's a good general, if you're doing mobility properly, if you're doing strength training properly, if you're focusing on the insides too, it's not superficial in the sense that, you just want to look good. It's like, well, when you look in the mirror, if you can objectively assess yourself and see if you have even muscle development. If you don't have equal muscle development, you could be focusing improperly on certain areas. If you have poor posture, if you see areas of your body that look a little flat or, deactivated, and like, I haven't really worked this area, because that can lead to imbalances. That could be a sign that you're neglecting certain areas of your physique. So it's not just how you look and, do you think that looks good? Do you think that looks hot? Do you think that looks attractive? It's also, wow, you don't have any development in this muscle. That could also be a sign of an imbalance or so it all works together. That's what bodybuilding is. That's why I do love bodybuilding, the concept of it, that you're trying to develop fully each muscle group. Proportionately. You don't want certain oversized body parts. And a lot of people, or I would say most people, have an oversized body part. You have shoulders that pop out just so much more than other body parts. You have calves that are just so much bigger, even though you don't really work out or you don't train them hard, or like your biceps just have amazing growth, but you don't have the same kind of shoulder or chest development, or you have a huge chest, but then your back is a little bit thinner. That's why to win a bodybuilding competition, it's not just vascularity, it's also symmetry and balance and proportion, because it's hard to genetically have all those tie-ins, but it's hard to also develop them evenly because you drive with one arm, you lean one way, you have a dominant side, and then your muscles will form differently. Like humans aren't completely, you have one ear higher than the other, or your eyes are not straight, or one nipple is higher than the other. Ladies, one breast is bigger than the other, or one leg is longer. Everyone's different. So it's hard to present perfect symmetry, which is why it's genetic, but it's also a ton of work and very specific training. But it also can be a good observation, like, hey, if you have no posterior deltoid, then that's not a good sign either, visually, but also just because you don't have good balance in your shoulder joint, and that can lead to an injury. Nick, is mango and pineapple your favorite fruit? I love watermelon too. Like watermelon, strawberries, blackberry, blueberry, raspberries. Mango season coming up in a few months. Ready for it. Ready. It's all rainy today, but it's going to be nice. Cold front coming in, so it's going to be in the high 40s. Oh, no. Aldana, Papa Swolio, please explain how I can get cortisol levels back to normal. Well, that's very medical, so I'll give you some general advice here. After losing my brother June last year to diabetes at the age of 52, I went through a time where I couldn't even exercise. I did feel hopeless. Even my PT advised to reduce the resistance exercise, to minimum as cortisol was through the roof. I do feel shit. I do struggle with going back to the routine I had before. Well, let's talk a little bit about not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, all that stuff. What gave it away? But I would definitely look into your nutrition, sleep, vitamin D levels, other forms of stress management, yoga, meditation, all very important. Are you eating organ meats? Hopefully you're not a vegan. It's just like you need to get these. There's probably a lot of other things that are keeping that elevated. I would check out. I said this many times before. There's a couple great episodes on Paul Saladino's podcast with Dr. Jamie Seaman for women's health. Excellent episodes. There was one at the beginning of 2021 and one at the end of 2020. I would recommend listening to those episodes. That's on the Fundamental Health podcast. And the guest is Dr. Jamie Seaman, Seeman. Check those out. Refer to the experts, the doctors that are on the front lines working with women's health. That's important. Check out those episodes. That's good for perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, prenatal, postnatal. There's a lot of great women's health in that. We talk about that all the time in the SwoleFam. Kira, do you know of a good test for body composition besides the DEXA? If you have access to underwater weighing or someone who has really high level calipers that is extremely proficient in it, I'm not sure what other retail options you have aside from that. I don't test my body fat, so I don't care about that stuff anymore. I can look in the mirror and I'm like, it's good. It's good enough. Thanks. Not a vegan meat eater. I'm assuming not a vegan, I'm a meat eater. I'm assuming because if you're a vegan meat eater, I don't know what that is. That's a new ideology right there. I'm not a vegan meat eater. What's a vegan meat eater? Unless you're not a vegan meat eater, because if you're a vegan eating meat, then you're eating soy burgers. Plant meat. Or something like that. Danielle. Some CrossFit trainers I know avoid fruit because of the sugar content. Is it really that big of a deal, sugar and fruits? No, it's not. Is that a clear enough answer? No, it's not. Eating in the context of a whole plant, like if you're getting fruit juice, that's trash. If you're eating, like you're just drinking sugar, you're just drinking soda. So Maxwell, can you do me a favor and change your avatar? I appreciate it. I love the SwoleFam, but I don't want someone getting confused thinking that it's an account avatar. No worries, you have to do it immediately. Just a heads up. Let's see. Yeah, I don't worry about the sugar in fruit. I don't worry about the sugar in fruit. A lot of what people are referring to is the way fructose and glucose act when they are not consumed together and when they're not consumed with like fiber and other elements of fruit that slow the absorption of those sugars. So what you don't want to do is use added sugar. Annika, I was told to be mindful of dried fruit. And this doesn't mean that this doesn't mean to eat all the fruit that you want. I mean, some people are more insulin resistant. Some people have a lot more issues with with sugars. So it depends on the individual how it impacts your blood sugar. And you can figure this out by using a continuous glucose monitor and such like that, which I don't use personally. But that's what you would do, and you would see how these foods impact. And this is why, like, when people say that they're doing keto, most people are not actually doing keto because they don't realize how much these foods impact blood sugar, and it's much more than what people think. All right, let's see here. Nick, you seem to be against vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, fucking carrots. But it seems from all the sources I see that these are nutrient-dense foods. Do you simply not like them, or do you believe they're not good for you? I generally don't think they're good for people. I think a lot of people manage to eat them, as I managed to for years, but they don't realize the negative effects that they have on their body because it's masked by all the other terrible shit that people are doing. People are very out of touch, and they think that chronic headaches or chronic joint pain or chronic bloating, all these things, any of you that have seen a lot of benefits from doing the elimination diet, drop in the comments below, what'd you learn to live with that you realize was not normal? I mean, people pop ibuprofen. They used to be prescription, but people pop ibuprofen every single day because they have pain rather than go to the source of this pain. And that's why the elimination diet is so important, because it teaches you what foods can actually do to your body. So you're aware of these symptoms, you're aware of these signals. And, if you have a headache, you think I need to take a Tylenol or an ibuprofen, when you just really need to drink some more fucking water and you don't have enough electrolytes in your system and such. So, I'm generally against vegetables in the sense that you have to test and see what works best for you. Not all vegetables will affect all people the same. So Brussels sprouts fuck me up. Like, I've tried these things. I've tried doing vegan, vegetarian. I've tried doing more plants and just tons of salads. It doesn't work. Definitely doesn't work for me. So I'm not here to tell you how to eat. I'm here to recommend. I'm here to teach people what foods can do and the downsides that these so-called, think of all the things that you've been lied to. You've been lied to about money. You've been lied to about COVID. You've been lied to about, you've been lied to in school. You've been lied to most of your life when it comes to the government and it comes to big food and pharmaceutical companies and the American education system. So you should be used to it by now. You should really be like, hey, let me not take these things on face value. Let me do my own research and think for myself. So I don't look at these foods as nutrient dense, especially if you're eating. It's all about getting the nutrients. It's all about getting the proper nutrients in your body. I'm eating organ meats, grass-fed beef. I'm getting plenty of protein, fat. I'm getting plenty of quality carbohydrates. I'm not eating foods that cause me chronic inflammation. I'm avoiding, and I'm noticing all these changes. And the more I do this, the better I feel. The better my skin looks, the more my energy is, the less my joints. I just keep on feeling better and better. Like spinach, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, crazy gas. Why do you think it causes people a lot of intestinal distress? Is because these are plants that have evolved over hundreds of millions of years with chemical defense properties because they don't have teeth. They don't have claws. They can't attack you. They have to defend themselves chemically against animals, rodents, whatever that might eat them. So it can give off seeds and grow more plants and grow more of these wild, go in the woods and see, think about it. What would you be fucking eating? What would you be eating off a tree? A piece of fruit. You'd find some ripe fruit and you would eat it. You're not going to eat a root. You're not going to be like, let me just eat this fucking piece of wood. And kill an animal and eat its fucking liver while it's still warm. Let the animals eat the plants. And then you can eat the nutrients that they extract from them. So this doesn't mean that people can't eat these vegetables and not die, but a lot of it can depend on preparation, and a lot's going to depend on the individual and their tolerance. And let's be honest, most people that are eating plant foods like this, they're not thinking about performing optimally. They really aren't. They're not thinking about, oh, am I going to feel better when I do legs again? Most people are just eating. They're mindless about their food. So they're not the best judge of, oh, I feel great. I eat broccoli all the time. Of course you do. So how would you know what it's like to not eat broccoli and to eat differently and to treat your life differently and move more? Most people don't live healthily. So you can't trust their opinions as to how their body feels because of all the other shit that they're doing in their life. It's not a good control. It's not a good study, right? But if you're eating, like for me, no grains, no dairy unless I have grass-fed raw dairy, but I don't really have access to it. I don't purchase it. I have grass-fed butter and such. No grains, sugars, candy, ice cream. I eat frozen fruit if I want something sweet. Raw honey, sweet potatoes on occasion, beef. I feel great. Really do. Really do. And most people that start doing an elimination diet and actually figuring out what foods work best, you just feel so good. You want that to keep going. And I think a lot of it is just cognitive dissonance. People can't imagine. I've been told that the greens, vegetables, eat your vegetables, right? Growing up, eat your vegetables, honey, eat your vegetables, but I don't want to. The little human body already knows it tastes like shit for a reason. It tastes like shit. It tastes like shit because it's not supposed to go in your body. Let me eat this grass. I found only benefits from getting rid of that shit, just from personal experience. And most people that I ever talked to and most people in the SwoleFam agree. So I'm not saying anything controversial here, really. Let's see. Kira, kale, broccoli, and spinach make me break out. Learned that from going carnivore. No wonder I had MS and felt like shit. My docs didn't know anything. Well, good for you for... And here's the thing. Honestly, let's not blame doctors are people and a lot of them are evil. That's for damn sure. And ignorant, but they're people though, right? You can't, in other words, I think society had been brainwashed for decades thinking that doctors were the bastions of everyone's fucking personal health. No, you are. See, Kira didn't give up. She actually tested it out, went carnivore, figured out what was causing these problems. And there you go. You don't need a doctor if you take care of it. Fucking test things yourself. Figure it out. Maybe the doctor actually knows something that helps you, fine. But you can't just be like, well, what are you just going to do? Live miserably? Try it yourself. Not every doctor knows everything. Not every person knows everything is my point. Period. Matthew, grain-fed beef fucked me up, but I put up with it. Grass-fed has completely changed my life. Feel fantastic and improved my overall outlook towards life. Mercilessly Swole. Nice. Let's see here. Isaiah, a lot of people I talk to daily swear a lot of inflammatory foods don't mess them up, but don't have the will to actually put it to the test. They're also probably addicted to it, right? They're probably also addicted to it. And then it's like, don't have the will. If you can't give up your food, if you can't give up a food for a couple of weeks, you're addicted to it. For fuck's sake, that's an addiction. You can't just stop having it for a couple of weeks just to see. Oh yeah, Isaiah, there's so many things we're taught as kids that are good for you, like milk. I never realized how dairy fucked me up until I got rid of it. I know. Got Milk. Remember that campaign? I don't know if they still do that. Got Milk. Sponsored by the American National Dairy Council. So here's a story. Quick story. I went to one of those national conferences for the NSCA, the National Strength Conditioning Association. That's where I had my CSCS certification from. And we went to the national conference to get some CEUs, and the job that I had was paying for it for us, like me and a couple other the instructors. So it was like, cool, guys trip, go and see the conference. And there's supplements to give you. You go to these convention centers and you just get tons of packages and these garbage supplements and stuff, right? And there was one talk one speech being given in one room. It was called, I think it was milk as a post-workout or something like that, or whey protein. It was either milk post-workout or milk as a recovery drink. And it was sponsored. You see underneath it, it was sponsored by the National Dairy Council. So I'm like, I'm not fucking going to that speech. I'm not going there. I wonder what they're going to say. I wonder what they're going to say. It was either whey protein. I don't think it was whey. I think it was actually milk. Milk as a post-workout, or milk as a recovery supplement or something like that. And it was sponsored by the National Dairy Council. Like, why would I just go to just blatant propaganda? Just blatant. I wonder what they're going to say. You should probably drink it, right? Yeah. So I'm like, wow, this is full of shit. You can see it's all the way through. It's all fucking rotten. You want to give a speech? Hey, we'll give you $10,000 so we can talk at your national conference. Sure. Now featuring in this room, John Jacobs from the National Dairy Council going to tell you how good milk is. Yeah, Matthew, crazy what we convince ourselves is normal until you go without it and open your eyes to the truth. Feeling bloated is not normal. It certainly isn't. Jen, milk gives me gas. I cut that shit out too. No dairy for me. Steven, they still do. Milk bloats me and gives me the sour air. Ooh. Well, grass-fed butter, you're not going to see the same output just because of the casein and the lactose is lower. But if you still have problems, check out grass-fed ghee, Ghee. That's clarified butter. So if you have problems with other dairy products, that is probably something that you won't have an issue with. All right, accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Tomorrow's episode will be private, so join the fam today. SwoleNormousX.com. Join the fam. All right, let's give away today's Swole card, Mercilessly Swole. Mercilessly Swole. Let's see what we got here, fam. Mercilessly Swole. Oh, we got a winner. Elijah Mountain Maxwell. Congratulations. There you have it. Well, that's a nice flexing picture too. Definitely didn't realize how much dairy was tearing me up. Hashtag mercilessly swole. All right. There you go. There you have it, fam. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2080 Schwam in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the email. That is fucking fantastic. Congratulations, Maxwell. Freddie, say congratulations. Be nice. I know. Yeah, don't forget to watch. Freddie says don't forget to wash where the sun don't shine.
Don't forget to wash where the sun don't shine.
That's weird. That's weird, Freddie. It's weird. Tomorrow at 12 noon. 12 noon, we have our accountability meeting. Be there or be a jabroni. Be a jabbernet. Don't be a beesh. Don't forget to bring the nips. Bring the nips.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Smaller-bodied white man, time for you to make some gains.
It's not my place for a small-bodied white man.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
I better use my strong.
Come on, man.
Matt Damon. I'm a fair guy, but this heat is making me absolutely crazy.
Ever served in a forward area?
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Fucking people. What happened to your queer party friends?
Fucking nailed it as always. Undefeated.
I am Greg. Could you milk me?
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
You trying to squeeze an inch in on me somewhere, huh?
Now I know you'd love to just sit there and keep being not slim, but we gotta work a little today, okay?
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Look at my record.
Stickers? Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Whipped it out.
Nailed it. Still got it. Still got it. You still got it.
Dodson! We've got Dodson here!
He still got it. He still got it. All right, fam. Tomorrow, you're very welcome, Kim. Thank you. Thank you for everything, Papa. Thank you for everything, Kim. Drop it in the comments down below. Biceps and Gorillas. Tomorrow, accountability meeting. Last reminder. Accountability meeting tomorrow, January 17th, 12 noon Eastern time, 12 noon. 12 noon. 12 noon. 12 noon. Be there. Live call, and you're going to call in, and you're going to lay it all out. What are you working on this week? What are your successes this past week? We got some SwoleFam posts for sure. We're going to have some SwoleFam call-ins. We're going to have some brand new fucking releases only inside the SwoleFam. Join over there, swolenormousx.com. That's all I have for you today. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Thanks for being here. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no